The Seahawks might lean in to one physical trait more than any other team right now. Did I create a segment from a TikTok video? That's none of your business. However, I will have you know that there happens to be a TikTok video by HBT Chiefs who actually looked into that question. You guys remember when Jamel Dean from the Bucks had that tweet that said if every team's fastest defensive back, linebacker, wide receiver, running back competed, which team would win a 4x100 relay? And it was just this random question we were all debating a while ago. Well, this guy actually looked into it and looked at just the 40 times, since obviously you don't have 100-meter runs from every single NFL player. So the fastest team at these positions, the Seattle Seahawks. So we figured we would extrapolate that and talk about whether or not the Seahawks value speed and value quickness more than other teams. Just an interesting kind of hypothetical. So let's get to it. What do you think, first of all, about the results? Are you surprised at all that it's the Seahawks with the fastest players at those positions?
I wasn't, because when you think about the guys on the team, obviously DK Metcalf was trying out for the Olympics. So even attempting to make the Olympics is great. But as he starts to break it down, I'm like, yeah, when I think of the Seahawks, I don't think of speed. I think of running the football. I think of good defenses. I think of taking shots with your receivers. But collectively, I don't think, okay, they look for guys who are fast. I think they look for good football players that fit what they want to do. Just so happen they got some burners over there in that squad right now.
Here's my question. There was a time when Pete Carroll would talk about wanting to get younger and faster, obviously hand in hand on defense. And that was when they still ran a 4-3. It's not like things are strictly 3-4, 4-3, but one of the big critiques when they switched to a 3-4 was, yeah, you have fast guys, but you don't have big dudes, right? Like, do you think that came back to bite them, or do you think that they're actually still building with lots of great pieces that can help them in a 3-4?
Now, there are positions that you need to be fast regardless of what you're running.
Right.
3-4, 4-3. Typically, you want your corners to be one of the faster ones. You don't have to be a burner to be a really good corner. You've seen corners drafted running high 4-4s and 4-5s. Safeties as well. I see safeties drafted all the time running 4-5s. It's more instincts, but you need guys who can cover ground. On offense, I think that's where you can specifically look for speed, especially at the receiver spot and the running back spot. But no, I think what's hurt them is more of what's been happening inside the box. And when you're in the box, you don't need to be that fast. Again, I'm putting this out there. Stop making O-line and D-linemen run the 40. You don't need that. If anything, give them the first little 5-10 yards. How fast do they get off the football? You know what I'm saying? So, no, I think the thing that has hurt this defense as of late has been just the configuration of talent in the box.
Can I ask a completely unrelated question, Curtis? You're going to hate me for taking this segment off the rails. I'm sorry for that. But if you could come up with a combine task for certain positions that you think would tell you the most about that player, what would it be? So, for instance, you don't want a 40 for offensive linemen. What single task would you have them do where you're like, this will tell me more about this player than almost anything else he can show me?
Now, they do this, but they don't time it. I'd get a sled out there, put some weights on it, and have them push it 10 yards, see how long it takes them to push the sled 10 yards.
Yeah.
Because that's all you're looking for, power in the trenches, force against force. Can you drive your legs and move another man off a piece of land?
Yeah. What about with wide receivers?
Wideouts, I think they got it right with wideouts. You run 40s, you catch some footballs, you do the L drill. It's all about agility and hand-eye coordination with receivers.
Yeah. All right, back to the topic at hand. This is clearly a team that's tried to get younger in general. I will say Pete Carroll, you guys think it's Brock is king of the body show. I will tell you, Pete Carroll loves a physical freak. Pete Carroll loves a player that is big and strong and fast in ways that just completely blow our minds. He loved Chris Carson. He loves DK Metcalf. Two of his favorite players, Lawrence Taylor and Randy Moss, right? Like, he loves guys that are just physical freaks. And I don't mind the idea of trying to build a team with a lot of those guys rather than trying to just get cute. But where would you like to see them go? Would you like to see them continue to add a lot of speed? Are there other things you'd like to see them add?
See, I'm going to give you the most generic answer right now, because I think sometimes that's what it comes down to. Here's the thing about speed and strength. It's a good place to start. You look at the NFL, they're big, they're fast, they're strong. You have to be able to compete with these big, strong human beings. End of the day, can you play football? Can you turn your hips and react to a drop? Can you fill a gap? Can you be a receiver and move a DB when he's 3 to 4 yards off just with your body language, snap it off and catch the football? Now, there's certain positions you look at and you go, I would prefer this guy to be fast. You're not going to see anybody drafted anymore. A couple of years back, I saw a receiver drafted who ran a 4.6, which blew my mind, but you're not going to take someone who's just slow, right? So there's always a foundation that you start with because you understand what the game is like once you get on the field as far as speed and strength. But I think when it comes down to it, you want a receiver who can run efficient routes, who can catch the football, who understands the defense. You want an offensive lineman who plays with a great base, has good hands, can communicate, good in slide protection, and fanning out. You want a defensive lineman who can fire at the football, use his leverage, push a man back, two gap if you need him to. You need a linebacker who can diagnose runs, drop it to the flat side. Yes, you want strength and speed, but there are certain things you must have at positions. Why do you think the Raiders were Garbithis for so long? Because they were just looking for speed.
Yep.
Like this dude can't ball. Yes, he's fast. Yes, he's strong, but can you ball? So I think I answered your question. I
Yes.
think speed and strength is a baseline, but there's so many layers to this thing.